TOMGIRL, where we talk all things sports, entertainment, fashion, and adventure. Super Bowl Sunday is here. And to get everyone fired up for the big game, we have a very special guest on the show today. We have one of Kansas City's most legendary fans, Lynn Weirdwolf Schmidt. Woohoo, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Here we go. How about those Chiefs?
I love it. We got the legendary howl right off the bat.
You bet. Got to light it up, man. We got to get ready for this big game.
Oh, well, I'm so pumped up to talk with you. I have so many questions. Let's just start out. Like, when did your love for the Kansas City Chiefs start?
Yeah, as a child, 1971, Christmas Day, I can remember the exact moment. It was the longest game in NFL history. At least that's how it turned out, against the Miami Dolphins. Playoff game, but we lost that game in double overtime. But I fell in love with the Chiefs that day, and that was the moment that took it all over. It was Christmas Day. My mom was downstairs yelling, "Hey, we want to open gifts." I was upstairs in my little black and white TV with the antennas and the aluminum foil strewn across the room so I could see it all. And yeah, that's when it all began.
When did you start then, like, going to the games in person?
Yeah, it was a long time before I actually started to go to games in person. It was about 1998 when I moved to Kansas City. And I started going right away, as many games as I could, but it was, broke up. There weren't a lot of season tickets. So I was finding my way in when I could.
Mm-hmm. And then when did the epiphany come, or when did this whole weird wolf creature come to life?
Well, yeah, that was an interesting moment. I was sitting in the Adams Mark Hotel across the street, was going to watch the game at the bar there. Some guy came in and said, "Hey, man, I want to take you. Are you interested in going to the game?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it'd be great, but I don't have a ticket." And he said, "Hey, I got an extra ticket. Come with me. We'll go into the game." And so we went. He took me over to the game. We were sitting up in third level, and he bought me 2 big beers. And he said, "Okay, you need to drink these right away. Boom, boom." And without any questions asked, "I bought you your ticket. This is what I'm requesting you to do." And I'm like, "Oh, geez, okay." So yeah, bam, bam, 2 beers down. And he stayed for a little bit longer, and then he took off, and I never saw the guy again. I don't know what the deal was, but in the process, he had purchased a third beer and set it down there for me. I got talking to the people next to me, and they said, "Yeah, I know his brother passed away last year. He's been kind of down. I think he just wanted to bring somebody into the game, get them started, have some fun." And then we were playing the San Francisco 49ers actually did in that game. And about the third quarter, after all those beers, I was pretty wound up, feeling pretty good. And we were really feeding the 49ers badly. And I got up and started yelling, ass kicking. That's just what I said, over and over and over again. And eventually about a third of the stadium was yelling that. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's a lot of power. I didn't think anything like that could happen." That was pretty special. So after that, the idea came to form the Weirdwolf character. So that's kind of where it all started.
Oh, what a great story. And how has the weird wolf kind of evolved over the years?
Yeah, you got to know a little history about Kansas City as to why the wolfpack is part of their culture, and why we have like the KC Wolf as our mascot out on the field. Back in the early days of Municipal Stadium, back 1972, 71, when the actually before that 71, the in Municipal Stadium, the fans were rowdy and crazy, sitting behind the bench of the opposing team. One of the announcers said, "It sounds like a bunch of howling wolves." The Chiefs picked up on it the next year and turned it into the Wolfpack, and started promoting that aspect of it. So Weirdwolf is my idea for keeping the Wolfpack alive out in Arrowhead Stadium. and they kind of took the wolfpack part of it all away, but they still kept Casey Wolf. And I'm trying to keep the spirit of those original rowdy fans alive. That's what I'm about.
Yeah. So you've kind of created, I mean, you guys have a great kind of community on Facebook and just great fans. What kind of things do you do to rally together, and how do you keep that spirit and that oomph going in the stadium?
Yeah, Kansas City's a unique area as far as stadiums go, especially with the tailgating. There's very few teams anymore that promote that. Lamar Hunt early on said, I want to have the fans out there, have them tailgating, having a good time. And he really promoted that and pushed that. And we've kind of, through all of that, become a family. When you go out to Arrowhead and walk the parking lots, you get invited in all the time. Even if you're an opposing fan, we bring those people in, we get them to have a great time, to enjoy Kansas City. And so it's become the kingdom of recent, but the fans that are there really make up that whole atmosphere. And whether we're winning or losing, the tailgate experience is always just incredible. Just be amazed walking around there what all you can get, what you can enjoy on as far as dining and those kind of things. You get the barbecue, of course. You get the I've had lobster in the parking lot, brats, all the food that you can imagine. People are cooking up, and there's a different food out there all the time. Everybody's enjoying it, hanging out together, playing games. Just a great big giant 80,000 person party.
How does the Weirdwolf do with cornhole with that claw?
I don't get to play a lot of cornhole. There's too many holes get put in the bags. You got to be careful with gripping those things. So, yeah, the claws tear it all up. So we have to be careful. I don't get, yeah, but I spend a lot of time wandering around rather than playing in all the reindeer games.
Yeah. You were known for, you started a slogan, kind of a catchphrase in the stadium, telling people to decibel up. Kind of talk about what that was about and how that got started.
Yeah, a number of years back, we started an effort to a group of people started an effort to go for the decibel record. We set it up with the Guinness Book of World Records. We've actually done it 2 times. We go the first one, I think it was 135.7 decibels is what we set on the first effort. In between that, Seattle took over the record with a little bit more. They were a little higher, 139 or something. And so we came back, did it again with 142.2 decibels, which is incredibly loud. We have to sustain that volume for a really long time. But in the process of all of that, I was going to the games with a flag that I had created that said Decibel Up. And crazy enough, the first time I went into it, I'd actually spelled decibel wrong. So the cameraman was like, look, I want to put you on the camera, but you spelled decibel wrong. So next game, came back, flag corrected, got it all right. And it started going up on the big screen with the decibel up, getting the crowd rowdy. That's part of how I helped get the crowd noise up. And then about 2 years after I started bringing that flag in, the Chiefs, to my surprise, started shooting up Decibel Up exactly the way I had drawn it up on my flag, up on the big screen. And now it's on the ribbon boards. It's been used on T-shirts, been used on glasses and mugs that are sold in the stadium. It's become part of the lexicon of the Chiefs. So it's one of my proudest moments is to know that I coined that idea, the Decibel Up, and we hold the record, and we're going to always hold that record for the loudest stadium anywhere.
That's awesome. How amazing. Yeah. What are some of the you've traveled to some Super Bowls, you've done a lot of things with the team. What are some of the biggest moments that come to mind for you?
I've gotten to do a lot of fun things. Back in 2002, I was actually inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the ultimate fan for that year. Each year they picked a different fan. So we went to Canton and actually played Green Bay in the Pro Football Hall of Fame game. that year. Also, it was the same year that Marcus Allen and Hank Stram went into the Hall of Fame. So it was a real special occasion for that Hall of Fame game, being there, being inducted into the Hall for that time. I had a display of my plaque and things out there for 1 year, along with all 31 of the other teams. We had one from every team that was inducted. It was the Visa Fans Hall of Fame. And so that was one of my favorite moments, was going to that game. Since then, I've been able to go to filling out my bucket list of things to do. I went to the Super Bowl last year, got to go to that one, to the Phoenix Stadium. And that was a real special moment to finally get there and to participate in the Super Bowl that the Chiefs were in, that we won. Yeah. And took down our opponents for that year, the Philadelphia Eagles. So that was real special to be there in on the field. And then this year, I got to attend a trip to Germany, which is why we've got our little German chapeau on still. We still got the Decibel Up and the Decibel nach oben, which is how you say Decibel Up in German. So that was a phenomenal trip. We had a great time there. Also, again, won the game against the Miami Dolphins, took them down. That was a real special moment out in Frankfurt, Germany. And then did a little family trip on top of it. Got to take my wife and son, and we went around to the German Alps and to Munich, and really took in the whole atmosphere. It was amazing. Beer was flowing down the staircases in the Frankfurt Stadium. They pound it there in Germany.
You have the big stein?
Yeah, I had to have the big stein.
And there you also, didn't you get a little hug in with Travis Kelce's mom on that trip?
Yes, we had some friends that were staying in the same hotel that the Chiefs team was, and then a lot of the other parents and family of the team were staying there as well. So they invited us over for breakfast one morning, and went out there, and yes, we got to meet Donna Kelce. That was very special, seeing her, hanging out with her. She was very nice, very friendly. The first time I saw her, I kind of followed her into the lunchroom. She said, "Oh, no, not now. Get back. I'll come talk to you in a little bit." And she did. And it was fantastic to be able to hang out with her and see her.
Yeah. You also had another big moment for talking about the Super Bowl before, where you were part of an ad for the halftime show.
Ah, yeah, that was a great time. We got contacted early on, actually. I think we hadn't even made it to the playoffs yet, but they were asking people for a casting call for an ad. We had no idea what it was going to be about, what we were doing. I hadn't even really thought about doing it. I wasn't really fired up to go do an ad or what have you. I didn't know what it was going to be. And at the very last day, the producers called me and said, "Hey, we really want you to fill out the form and do a little promo tape and come on and see about getting that part of that." And so last second, I ran down here, shot a quick video, answered the questions that they asked about, and sent that in. And a little later on, they let us know that, hey, we're really interested in you and being part of this thing. Then they finally revealed that it's going to be a Rihanna halftime commercial. And so we had to sing the song Stay. Before that, we had to sing a song that really meant something very special to us. I don't sing. So that was the most stressful moment of my life, was trying to put together that tape and to sing these songs. And so I sung Dust in the Wind, which the producer had never heard before, surprisingly. But she was like, "Oh my gosh, that was eerie. That was so awesome." I don't know if that was a good thing or not, but she was, I guess, impressed. And then we had to do the song Stay as well, which is a really difficult song to sing. Rihanna does an amazing job with it. But through all this process of sending these things in, sending these tapes in, eventually they said, "Yeah, you've been picked. We're sending one fan from every team to do the Rihanna halftime commercial promotion, and they flew us to LA. We got to go into the studios. They took it, put us up in a hotel, did the whole thing. It was just like I guess what the big stars get to experience. But for us, it was a pretty amazing thing, hanging with all these people, singing the song "Stay," and then seeing how they edited it out. And I wound up with a pretty nice finale to the whole song.
You sure did. That was great. That howl, man. Well, it's so fun to see all of you from all the different teams like interact together too. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I made a lot of friends through the process. There were a lot of people that I knew. Big Nasty from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of my guys that I've known for a lot of years. And just a lot of people there, to see all those folks and to visit with them. We got, there was a lot of downtime where we just hung out and visited, talked, threw a little trash talking about our teams, some of that fun, getting to go out to dinner, all of that kind of stuff. It was really cool, real cool experience. What was fun was when I finished the howl, which you mentioned before, and I, still nervous as heck about the whole thing, and didn't, singing just wasn't my thing. And they wanted people that couldn't sing, actually. So they got a perfect candidate for that. But when I walked off, while Rihanna's people were there, they had a bunch of seats and chairs. That she wasn't there herself, but a lot of her people were there. And as I walked off, the sound person went, "Oh my God, you hit that note just perfect. How in the world did you do that?" And they all stood up and applauded. I got a standing ovation from Rihanna's people. So I was pretty thrilled about that moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you might have a career in music now,
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I can howl, that's a good thing. I can get that done, but known for long pause howl where I can stop traffic. Actually did that in Germany, out in the Old Town Square in Frankfurt. Some friends of mine were like, did just come up there. So I did a great big howl, honestly stopped everybody in their tracks through the whole plaza. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. What are some more of the things that you do? Like if we were at a game, I'm at a Chiefs game and you're there, like what kind of things are you going to be doing?
Well, yeah, we're running through the crowd. We're trying to pump them up. We walk the stadium parking lot probably about 3 to 4 hours ahead of time. And I start out in lot A, then we go off to lot B, C, D, over to lot G, which is on the other side of the stadium. A couple tailgates there, a lot of tailgates that I go visit at. And the whole deal is just to walking around going, you got to be loud today, be loud, crank it up, be crazy. Because I find out whether it's their first time or not, So if you're a virgin to the game, we give them a little initiation to the process and get them to yell, just go around getting people rowdy and cranked up. Like right now we got the 49ers coming up for the Super Bowl. So we always chomp down on that a little bit with the big, get that going, there's always something to get the crowd going rowdy. And then we got the flags that I bring out, we've got the big flags that we bring out, the Decibel Up flags that we hold up, get the crowd going with those, waving the flag. This is kind of the original look that Decibel Up was. So there's all that. I got a whole bunch of different flags, different things that we do, and fling those things around. And, there's shot skis, there's all kinds of craziness that goes on in that parking lot. And we go visit the teepee. There's a teepee gang out there. So going out and see those guys, and a number of different tailgates. There's places where some of the players' family go all the time. Like the Mahomeses go out to lot D, the Snead family goes out to lot G. We kind of have met a lot of those people in walking around the stadium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to go. It just sounds like such a good time.
Oh, you would have the blast. Well, I'll take you on the tour. It'll be a good time.
Okay, I'll have to make it out to.
You got to cheer for the Chiefs, though. Is that where you'd be headed?
Oh, for sure for the Chiefs. Like truth be told, up there. So you are my cousin-in-law. So
Oh, wow, we're gonna reveal the truth.
so Dad, growing up in Nebraska, we didn't have a pro team. So
Right.
and my mom, that was they went to a couple Chiefs games before us kids were around. They would go to a couple Chiefs games. So then when we came, it was all about just Nebraska college football, So yeah, so no,
Yeah.
we all still pull for the Chiefs. So
No, that's good. I didn't know if you converted having moved to the West Coast. It might have.
Chargers fan as well, but
Oh man, well you got a new coach now, so
yeah,
there's always hope again. But the Chargers going to Charger. They start high and then they go low.
a lot. It's kind of painful between them and my Huskers lately. It's been a rough couple years, but
Yeah, they're coming around though. We'll see what happens.
new time. But all right, so walk me through how long this takes you to get together, how long it takes you to become the Weirdwolf, and what that entails.
Man, it honestly is only about an hour in the process. All the outfit and the getup and all the pins and things that we have on here, I've been gathering over. This is my 24th season of doing this. I'm going to shoot for at least one more season to get 25 seasons in. But yeah, it's only about an hour for the process of getting it all ready to go. But I'm so nervous that before going to to the stadium that I'm pacing around, waiting, trying all for a while. Usually each time as I wait for whether Joe, my son, is ready to go or not, and I'm always ready before they are. But yeah, a good solid hour, little face paint, throw on all the gear, make sure you have some halls because you got to suck on the halls, throat lozenges during the offensive series so that your throat stays good for the defensive time when you've got to be out there yelling, and just to make sure I don't forget any of those things, and not to forget your ticket. You always got to make sure you have your phone and your ticket. I've done that twice where I had to make Joe run back to the car and grab my phone. So
what do Joe and Sandra think of this?
They yeah, that's a good question. I don't know that they're used to it. Let's put it that way. I don't know that they've ever fully accepted it, but they're used to it. They know that's what I really enjoy doing, and it's my way of expressing my whole Chiefs fandom and love for that team and the game. And so, as we do with who we love, we accept them for what they are, and I think that's the best I can say for them.
Taking it on for you afterwards, after 25 seasons.
Well, our first date, the first time Sandra and I went out, I took her to a Chiefs Kingdom show, which is the radio show run by Mitch Holthus. And I got out of the car, started putting all my stuff on, and Sandra was like, "Oh no!" And she took off. She headed for the bar that this place was where it was being held at. She was a full block ahead of me. I walked in. She wouldn't even sit with me that night. I had to sit with all my other friends. I said, "Oh yeah, that's my date over there." And somehow we found a way to keep making it work. So again, yeah, she found some acceptance.
I'm sure she loves it. I mean, it's cool, right? You've been on shows like Best Damn Sports Show, period. I mean, people know you, they recognize this character, and you brought so much love and fun to Chiefs fans.
Yeah, it's fun to be recognized. It's fun to be part of all that. For me, it's really all about winning, winning the games. That's why I did it, was to get the crowd pumped up. I figured that dressing up, showing up at the games, getting their attention and getting them to get rowdy, even when we're behind, that was the main reason for really doing that. And so in that process, being recognized, yeah, it's fun to be able to go do some of the things that I've gotten to do with the Best Damn Sports Show. That was in 2003, I think, when they Visa actually flew us out there, and we also got to do the Jimmy Kimmel Show at the same time, and flew us to New York for opening day of the NFL season. That was in like 2004 or something like that. So it's been a lot of great experiences. I've gotten to do a lot of local commercials and ads, and always getting called to do some fun stuff, and be able to be part of that for the charities, Ronald McDonald House, and some of those kind of things too. We've been able to get all of our. We actually have a group called the Pro Football Ultimate Fans Association, and during the draft this last year, we were able to pull all these fans come in from all over. And so we got to go do some stuff at the Ronald McDonald House with the kids there, as well as cooking a meal for them. So it's not just about the self-indulgence and enjoyment of all that, but being able to do some things for some other people and to get the team to perform and win and have that success.
Yeah. So say there's somebody out there who is just so passionate about their team, any advice you would have how they could become like, for being like the biggest fan?
Well, first thing is get a character that you can do every time, because I'll guarantee you, if you're wearing the hot masks in Miami, you may not want to keep doing that. So develop a character that you want to do all the time and feel comfortable with doing. I'm 63. I'm getting tired of putting the face paint on. That's why I'm trying to get that 25th season in, see where that goes after that. But yeah, number one, find a character. And then number two, you got to have a sense of humor. You are going to catch grief, not only from other teams, but you're going to catch grief from your own fans, especially if you're losing. So be prepared. You got to have the answers that are funny, and you can't take any offense to what people are saying. They're just being what they're being. But you got to have a good comeback to alleviate those situations when they arise. But yeah, you'll get all kinds of entertaining comments.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit, you got so much stuff around you. I just love all this memorabilia and things. Can you give us kind of a little tour around your cave there?
Yeah, I don't want to move the camera, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out here. I've got things from all over. This was from our first San Francisco game. This was made by Arrow Man, Monty Short. He's the longest running Chiefs fan that we have. He was the first inductee into the Pro Football Hall of Fame from the Kansas City Chiefs. So he always puts a little arrow out through that. So that's part of it. I've got Super Bowl rings. These are electric football figures, which are reproduced and painted by a friend of mine. And you can see there's Andy Reid and some of the other players in there. And this is from the last Super Bowl. So I have all the Super Bowl teams painted up and done like that. Those are part of my favorite part of the collection. And things are flying. And then we've got Decibel Up beer, which I have our own brand of beer. We also have our own brand of cigar, the Decibel Up cigar, through Outlaw Cigar. That's the company that produces those, but they're made at the cigars are made at the AJ Fernandez factory. But Outlaw Cigar and Brewery makes the Decibel Up beer that we promote. So,
what kind of brew is it?
It's an IPA. And in honor of the Decibel Up record, the white label can is called, we have one that's called Superfan. That one's called Superfan. This one's called Fanatic. But in honor of the 142.2 decibel record, the alcohol content of that is 14.2, and it's 142 IBUs, which is the hop content. So it's really hoppy, very strong. You don't want to drink more than one of these at a time.
Yeah. Nice. Or you'll be dustling down pretty soon.
Yeah, that can happen. So other than that, there's a lot of autographed items. I've got books, autographs. This is some art that I actually produced. We'll try to get the shine out of it here, but and that was Leo Chanel, and one of his quotes was, I want to bring violence and physicality to the game. So I was able to produce that art and got it signed by him. But yeah, a whole bunch of autographed footballs all stacked up behind me over here. I've got some of the legends all the way back from Otis Taylor and Buck Buchanan and Bobby Bell and Willie Lanier. Those were my heroes and idols back when I was a kid, and all the way up to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce these days.
That's great. How wonderful. It's just so fun to see all that, what you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of little electric football fields, which is part of my other hobby. And then of course the wolfpack license plate stuff from the history. Yeah, it's I got a little bit of everything, probably a little too much.
Nah, there's never too much, right? All right. Well, let's talk Super Bowl a little bit. What are you going to be doing this year for the Super Bowl?
Wow, we're trying to figure that out. We're having a little fight. I want to go hang with a bunch of my buddies at a bar that my wife doesn't exactly like that much. So, and then Joe's going to be back in town. So most likely what's going to happen is we're going to stay home and watch the game here. There's nothing better than hanging with her and my son. We get just as rowdy and crazy as we do anywhere else. So I think this year we'll be watching from home. I didn't get to watch it with them last year because I was at the game, and so we're gonna set some tradition with watching it with them.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Do you have a prediction for the game?
Oh yeah, Chiefs gonna win. That's obvious. We've run through the gauntlet of quarterbacks right now, from Tua to Josh Allen to the guy we beat this last time, Lamar. We've taken them all down. Now we just got Brock Purdy. The guy was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. So I think, there's a strong possibility that the Chiefs are coming out with a win on this. I'm willing to go hand and foot with that and say that we're winning that by about 12.
All right. You heard it here, folks.
That's right. That's right. Brock's going down. He's going to it's his first time in the Super Bowl. First time, you're a little nervous, and that kind of stuff Mahomes takes advantage of that. Kelce, Chris Jones going to get a few sacks. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
And McDuffie. I got to mention McDuffie. He's one of my favorite players. And the defensive backs are really strong. They're not going to get the passing game that they hope.
Well, I'm rooting for you too. So go Chiefs. You guys got this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I thank you so much for taking the time. This was just so fun. I know I've seen you on your, Facebook and our family stuff before. And I'm like, I was just sitting there watching the game a couple weekends ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to talk to him about this. I want to hear more. I mean, I always knew you did this, but I didn't know all the details and everything. So I thank you so much for coming and sharing this with all of us today.
Oh man, it was great seeing you. I love the TOMGIRL shows. It's fun being a part of this. I was surprised when you asked me, but I'm happy to be part of this, and we're going to take it all the way to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a good time.
All right. Where can people follow you? You're on Instagram, Facebook, or any places they can follow all your actions?
Yeah, Facebook, Lynn Weirdwolf Schmidt, and Instagram, I think is KC Weirdwolf, is where I do most of my posting on those things, and on the social media. So, but I'm always producing a bunch of different artwork. I'm a graphic designer by trade, so I get to play with the fun part of my job is producing the Chief stuff that I like to do. So there's that, and you can follow that artwork, see what's going on, and see what all's going on with all the crazy fans around the country, because we're always sharing what's happening.
Yeah, I saw that artwork on your Facebook. They're gorgeous. You do such a great job with that graphic design.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so fun. All right. Well, thank you so much. Go enjoy the Super Bowl, and I appreciate you taking the time. All right.
You bet. Go Chiefs. We're going to go all the way. Super Bowl number 4. You bet. Let's do it.
Awesome. Well, thank all you guys for listening. You can follow TOMGIRL on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want to listen to your podcast. We're happy that this is our first one back for the new year, and I can't think of a better person to kick it off with. So We'll leave it at that. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs!